So yes, so today we will cover completing the squares method to solve the quadratic equations, right? So these are the general steps, Nathan. So if we have a quadratic equation, you have to take the constant term to the right hand side first. So that's what they have written here. So keep x square and x terms on the left and move the constant to the right. After doing this, you have to halve the coefficient of x. For example, in this case, the coefficient is b, so you have to do the half of it, that is b by 2, right? And square it. So take the half the coefficient of x and then square it. Then whatever the answer comes, you have to add and subtract both the numbers. Add it to the left hand side and subtract it to the right hand side. And after once you get this equation, then you can solve it by taking the square root of both the sides. Yeah, we'll take one example and try to understand these steps. I'll take one question once again. Yes, I have it. Steps are clear, right?
Mm,
We'll try to
yes,
understand
yes.
more clear with the help of example. Yes. So what we were saying, take the constant term to the right hand side first. So this will gonna become x square plus 4x equal to minus 1. Make sense? After that, whatever is the coefficient of x, you have to half it. So here it is 4, half that. That becomes 2 and then square it. That becomes 4. This 4 has to be added and subtracted. So what we'll do, we'll write it like this: x square plus 4x plus 4 minus 4 equal to minus 1. Understood? So what we did, we took
Mm-hmm.
the constant term to the right hand side. So plus 1 become minus 1. And then the coefficient of x was 4. So we half that, which becomes 2. And then we squared it, which becomes 4. And this 4 has to be added and subtracted. Basically, if you see, we're doing nothing. Is just, if we cancels out, it's the same equation what we have initially. But the benefit of doing this is now you can make it square. Now you can combine these two. So the what is gonna become x plus 2 square. Identity, right?
Mm-hmm.
A plus b raised to power 2 is a raised to power 2 plus b raised to power 2 plus 2ab, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is left over? Minus 4 equal to minus 1. You can take this minus 4 to the other side. Minus 1 plus 4. All good? Now x plus 2 square, that becomes 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now you take it, you can take square root on both the sides. So this will become x plus 2 and this will come square root of 3 plus minus 3. Now you can take plus 2 to the other side. So this will become x equal to minus 2 plus minus root 3. So what are the two values of x then? One, you can take it as plus root 3, and one we can take it as minus root 3. So these are the values of x. So we solved this quadratic equation by completing the squares method. So what all we have done, let's have a small revision. The equation was x square plus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. So what we did, we took the constant term to the right hand side. We figured out what is the coefficient of x. We halved it and we squared it. Whatever the answer we get after squaring it, we have added and subtracted from the left hand side. Now we had made an identity a plus b raised to power 2 and moved the minus 4 to the other side. That becomes plus 4. Now minus 1 plus 4 becomes plus 3, and then we have taken the square root on both the sides, right? After taking the square root, that 3 become plus minus root 3, and then we took the 2 to the other side as a minus 2. And that's how we got two values of x. Is that all good, Nathan? Let's do one more question and try to understand this better.
Ah.
Okay. Yes. So again, the same thing. We have to take plus 9 to the other side. So this become x square minus 10x equal to minus 9. Now we have, what's the coefficient of x here? Minus 10. We have to half it, which becomes minus 5, and then square it. So this becomes minus 5 raised to power 2, which is 25. This 25 has to be added and subtracted. So you can write it down, x square minus 10x plus 25 minus 25 equal to minus 9. You can remove this minus 25 to this side actually. Now this will become x square minus 10x plus 25 equal to minus 9 plus 25. All good so far? And here you can make it as an identity. A minus b raised to power 2 is a raised to power 2, b raised to power 2 minus 2ab. So this will gonna become x minus 5 raised to power 2. Because if you open up the bracket, it becomes x square plus 25 minus 2 times x times 5. So that becomes minus 10x. And this will become plus 16. Yeah. Now you can take the square root on both the sides. So this will become x minus 5 equal to plus minus 4. Yeah. After taking the square root, take square root both sides.
Ah.
On both sides. Take square root on both sides. So this you can take it to x to the other side. So x equal to plus 5 plus minus 4. So you get two values of x now. X is 5 plus 4, or x equal to 5 minus 4. So 9 and 1 are the answers. So what are the x values? 9 and 4. 9 and 1. Any doubts?
No.
All well, right? Now we have taken questions where the coefficient of x square was 1. What if the coefficient of x square is not 1? What we do in that case? Let's see. Let's take an example where the coefficient of x square will not be 1. Yeah. Yes. As we see in this question, the coefficient of x square is not 1, right? In such questions where the coefficient of x square is not 1, we have to divide the whole equation with the coefficient of x square. So here we'll divide everything with x square coefficient. So this will gonna become, divide everything with 2. So that become x square plus 4x minus 5 equal to 0. Now the same thing what we were doing before. So what we have done here, we have divide the equation, divide the equation by 2. Divide the equation by 2. So this become, why we have divided it with 2? Because 2 is the coefficient of x cube. So whatever be the coefficient of x cube, we have to divide the whole equation with that. So sometimes we may get fractions as well. In this case, we got all whole numbers. We may get fractions. Now it's the same thing. Take minus 5 to the other side, and we have to take the half of the coefficient of x, and then we have to square it and add and subtract. So 4 half is 2 and 2 square is 4, and now 4 has to be added and subtracted. So this become x square plus 4x plus 4 minus 4 equal to 5. This minus 4 you can take it to the other side. So this become x square plus 4x plus 4 equal to 9. Yeah. Now
Mm,
this will become identity, that is x plus 2 raised to power 2 equal to 9. So x square plus 4 plus 4x. Now I take the square root. So if you take the square root, this will going to become x plus 2, and this will come plus minus 3. Now take 2 to the other side. If you take 2 to the other side, this become 2 plus minus 3. So value of x will come out to be either 5 or minus 1. All good? So what we have done in this question, here the coefficient of x square wasn't 1. So if in such questions, what we do, we divide the whole equation with the coefficient of x square to make it 1. Once it becomes 1, then the same method how we were doing before applies. What we do in that case, we we take the coefficient of x, half it, square it, and the same has to be added and subtracted then. So one side it becomes an identity, and then we take the square root on both the sides, and that will give us the two values of x. Let's take a case where we get the fractional values. Yes, okay, properly. Yes, here's a question. So again the same, the coefficient of x square is not 1, so you have to divide the whole equation with 3. So once you divide it, what we're gonna get? We get x square minus 6 upon 3x plus 5 upon 3. So we are getting fractions now. So this will gonna become x square minus 2x plus 5 by 3. The same thing, we have to take 5 by 3 to the other side. So you're left with x square minus 2x equal to minus 5 by 3. Now you have to half the coefficient of x and then square it. So half will be minus 1 and the square will be 1. So we have to add and subtract 1 from this equation. So x square minus 2x plus 1 minus 1 equal to minus 5 by 3. All well? So this will become identity x minus 1 raised to power 2, and you can take this minus 1 to the other side. So this will become minus 5 by 3 plus 1. Now if you solve it on the right hand side part, that will become 3 as the LCM. So 1 times 3, 1 times 3. So minus 5 plus 3 is minus 2, minus 2 by 3. Now, if you take the square root on both the sides, let us first, if you take the square root of this minus 2 by 3, this will come out to be imaginary numbers because we have a negative number inside the square root. So this will give you imaginary numbers. So what will you get? The value says x minus 1 square, because you already have taken the square root. I'll erase this 2 here from here, and that will be equal to plus minus root 2 upon 3 I. This is imaginary because of this thing. Now you can take minus 1 to the other side, so you'll get x value says 1 plus minus root 2 upon 3 I. This is your answer. Any doubts, Nathan, in this, how we have solved this?
No.
Okay, let's take one more. Here we get imaginary numbers. Let's take one more. Yeah. Yes. So same thing. The coefficient of x square is not 1. So divide the whole equation with 4. Good thing is we get a whole numbers here. This is gonna get x square plus 3x minus 4 equal to 0. Take minus 4 to the other side. So this become x square plus 3x equal to 4. Now we have to do the half of the coefficient of x and then square it. Oh, we get a fractions values buddy here. So the coefficient of x is 3. So half of it will be 3 by 2 and the square of it will be 9 by 4. So 9 by 4 has to be added and subtracted. So let me take it up a little. Yeah. Now x square plus 3x plus 9 by 4. You can also do adding both the sides by 9 by 4. Anyhow, if you subtract here minus 9 by 4, it will go to the other side as plus 9 by 4. So what you can say is, once you do the half and square it, the both you add it to both sides. Whatever you get after squaring it, add it to both the sides. I think that's also you can do. Either add and subtract on the left hand side, or add that thing to both the sides. Now, because if you do minus 9 by 4, anyhow it will go to the other side as plus 9 by 4. Now this will become identity. So what will be that identity? X plus 3 by 2 square. And this is, you have to solve it. So 4 is the LCM. So 1 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 9. And now this will be equal to x plus 3 by 2 square. And 16 plus 9, 25 by 4. And now we have to take the square root of both the sides. The main steps will remain the same. So x plus 3 by 2 will be equal to square root of 25 by 4. And that is plus minus 5 over 2. Now you can bring the 3 by 2 the other side. So you get two values of x. One is 3 by 2 plus 5 by 2, or x equal to 3 by 2 minus 5 by 2. So when it is plus 3 by 2, you get x equal to 8 by 2, which is 4. And when it's minus, you get minus 2 over 2, which is minus 1. So what are the values of x? 4 and minus 1. So this is how we solve any quadratic equation by completing the squares method. Again, let's have a small revision of the steps. So what we do, first, if the coefficient of x square is 1, then the case is very easy. You just have to halve the coefficient of x, square it, and add to both the sides. And try to make identity on the left hand side. Take the square root on both the sides, and that will give you the values of x. If the coefficient of x square is not 1, you have to divide the whole equation with the coefficient of x square to make it 1. Once it becomes 1, then the same steps. Half the coefficient of x, square it and add to both the sides, and then make the identity on the left hand side, take the square root, and you'll get the values of x. Is that clear?